Hello and welcome to ILTV's Israel Daily. I'm Aaron Porras, and coming up in today's newscast, a young mother brutally attacked en route to taking her kids to school Wednesday morning. Meanwhile, the underground smart barrier around Gaza finally up and running, and Israeli tech earning big bucks again in earth-shifting announcement from Intel. Our top story, terror again gripping the capital. This as a young Israeli woman stabbed Wednesday morning in a suspected Palestinian terror attack. A mother's nightmare playing out early Wednesday morning in East Jerusalem. An Israeli woman stabbed and lightly wounded in front of her children. The 26-year-old victim reportedly walking with her kids, including a baby in a stroller, as she was on her way taking them to school. Emergency first responders arriving to find her with the knife still in her back. Thankfully, though, the children were not physically harmed, and the mother taken to hospital, where she's been reportedly conscious and stable. As for the suspected attacker, the Palestinian female minor, reportedly just 14 years old, fleeing the scene after the stabbing, but was arrested hiding at a nearby school following the manhunt. Both the victim and the suspected terrorist are residents of the Sheikh Jarrah Shimon HaTzadik neighborhood of East Jerusalem, a flashpoint area at the center of a civil Israeli-Palestinian property dispute, which has often been the focus for anti-Israel protest, particularly last May preceding the 11 days conflict with Hamas in Gaza. Then finally, this attack, the latest in a recent string of Palestinian terror. Israeli forces conducting a number of arrest raids in East Jerusalem just last night, looking for suspects connected to throwing Molotov cocktails, riots, and other offenses. Further, at least 4 major attacks reported in the last few weeks alone, including a car ramming in the West Bank on Monday by another teenaged suspect, a security guard injured, the suspect shot dead, a stabbing on Saturday in Jerusalem, where a Haredi man gravely assaulted on his way home from prayer by a West Bank Palestinian who was likewise shot dead after the unprovoked attack. And of course, the tragic attacks of November 21, a stabbing in Jaffa in which an 18-year-old Palestinian knifed a 67-year-old Israeli man 5 times in the back before attempting to move on to his wife, and a shooting in Jerusalem in which a Hamas-affiliated teacher killed Israeli tour guide and immigrant from South Africa, Eli K., and wounded 4 others. Moving on, as more and more terror attacks are recorded, Israeli security officials are fearing that another major spike in violence may be on the horizon, particularly as Palestinian groups are explicitly threatening as much. The Palestinian Authority, for one, continuing its pay-to-slay policy, for which Israel is withholding tax revenues from Ramallah. And the Hamas terror group likewise slamming Israel and Egypt for their blockade around the Strip, while warning that escalations across the region may soon be renewed. This in light of non-specific, quote-unquote, Israeli attacks on Jerusalem and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, as well as floundering indirect ceasefire talks with Israel in Cairo. Israel saying no real reconstruction aid will be allowed into Gaza unless a prisoner swap agreement is reached. So what happens next? Joining to discuss is founder and director of Palestinian Media Watch, Itamar Marcus. Itamar, it's great to have you with us. Now, starting with Hamas threats, based on the rhetoric that we're hearing, do you think that a new round of violence is imminent?
The new round of violence will be dependent on how many of the terror attacks in the next week or 2 are successful from the Palestinian perspective. That means that they end up actually killing Israelis. There's a lot of hate in the background now in the Palestinian Authority. The people are very angry at their leadership. Hamas is calling for violence. The Palestinian leadership themselves, the Palestinian Authority, is also calling for violence, glorifying the terrorists, demonizing Israel when we kill a terrorist. All of this creates a tremendous atmosphere of hatred. And you've got any number of thousands of Palestinians who might have considered being a terrorist at any time. And when you have this kind of peak of hate promotion, a few of them are going to try. What we've seen in the past is when there's a tragically successful attack and Israelis are killed, or a few Israelis are killed, Then all those people who are waiting on the sidelines, they decide, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to be the next hero.